The current Bossier Arts Council building was once Bossier City's first city hall. It was constructed in 1926 and dedicated in 1927. Mayor Tom Hickman gave a short speech when the Masonic Grand Lodge of Louisiana laid the cornerstone for this $50,000 building. Shreveport Mayor L.E. Thomas congratulated the Bossier City community on its splendid development and wonderful progress. He urged Bossier to continue its forward march. Over 1,000 guests assembled for the dedication. Throughout the years, the building has housed the fire station, a police station, the city jail and courthouse, and various municipal administrative offices. In the 1940s, a branch of the Bossier Parish Library was here. In this 1941 photograph of the Bossier Branch Library, you can see a group of servicemen catching up on the latest news. These men were likely in the area as part of the Louisiana Maneuvers, a series of Army training exercises held in northwestern Louisiana. This room served a dual purpose as the library branch and the city courtroom. The Bossier City Fire Department appears in this photograph with the municipal building in the background. You can see the bay door for the fire truck is still visible today. The photograph was taken around 1942 when Bossier City purchased its second fire truck. City Hall served as a community gathering place in the 1930s and 1940s. The upstairs auditorium hosted political meetings, dairymen meetings, the Epworth League, the Lions Club, and the Masons. The Armageddon Club also held their fall opening dances in the auditorium. The Bossier Parent-Teacher Association also met at City Hall. The PTA was the first parish-wide council to be formed in Louisiana. Flower shows sponsored by the Bossier Community Club were frequently held in the auditorium, with blossoms being admired by hundreds of visitors. In the 1940s, City Hall served as a central location for several efforts for the World War II home front. In 1941, it was Bossier City's drop-off location for an aluminum scrap collection for the wartime scrap metal drives. In 1943, the auditorium hosted a one-day canning school for the Victory Canners. Bossier City residents who were growing their own Victory gardens could learn how to can and preserve their vegetables. Miss Letty Van Landingham, the local home demonstration agent, offered this canning school to persons who would like to learn or refresh themselves on the principles of canning. The canning kitchen, which was built during the Great Depression, was open to the public. In 1943, the Women's Army Corps had a recruiting site at City Hall. In 1944, the Home Demonstration Club sponsored a dehydration food school. The local American Red Cross chapter met to roll bandages within the auditorium. By 1977, the municipal building was in desperate need of renovation. In its 50th year, the facility no longer met the needs of the growing city. Between the administrative offices and the city courthouse, Bossier City was looking to expand with a new municipal complex. In 1980, the Bossier Arts Council was established for the advancement of cultural interests in the Bossier City area. The city hoped to designate the old municipal building as an arts and culture center for the city once the building was vacated. Mayor Marvin Anding strongly endorsed the formation of the Bossier City Arts Council. The city offices moved to the new municipal complex off of Benton Road, which was dedicated in 1986. In 1988, the municipal building got a much-needed facelift. A federal grant helped with extensive restoration to the structure. It opened as a community center in 1988, housing the Bossier Arts Council, the Clean City Committee, Downtown Development, and the auditorium remained available for civic groups to use. The Bossier City Civitan Club adopted the old municipal building in the Clean City Committee's Keep Bossier Beautiful program.
So for the past 40 years, the Bossier Arts Council has done a lot of upgrades to our building. We have included, of course, we have the East Bank Theater upstairs. We do 2 productions a month. Either we produce the shows or we allow local playwrights to use the space to produce their own work. There's a unique element to the East Bank Theater in that our dressing rooms were once jail cells, and those jail cells were used as holding cells for people to sober up to stand trial, which was right outside where our theater space is.
So I'm Dr. Cheryl White. I'm a professor of history at Louisiana State University at Shreveport. And here today, the Bossier Arts Council, a really historic building over here in Bossier City, our sister city for my university. And this building has an interesting piece of lore associated with it that makes a big connection to not just Bossier history, but history of the region too. So here we are in what used to be the jail on the second floor of this building. And there is this wonderful legend. Have not really been able to document it in the record, but it makes a great story nonetheless. Persistent local lore that country music star Hank Williams was in jail here for public drunkenness. Now, the way that sort of intersects with the broader history of the region is that he definitely had a connection, obviously, to Shreveport. We know that he came to the Louisiana Hayride in 1948. As a matter of fact, he was one of the first to perform on the Hayride from 1948 to 1949, before he, of course, went on to bigger things with the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, a decade, not even a decade, a few years go by, and Hank Williams was kicked off of the Grand Ole Opry for being consistently intoxicated. So he came back to this area. We have a record that, of course, he purchased a house here in Bossier City on Monica. We have a record that his second marriage license was issued here in Bossier City to Billie Jean, his second wife. And there is this other story that we really can't substantiate, but I think is so compelling because it intersects with what we know about Hank Williams. He suffered clearly from alcoholism. We have a record in Shreveport that he was arrested there in 1952 upon his return to the area. We know that he was hospitalized at least twice with a diagnosis of acute alcohol poisoning. So the tragedy, of course, is that he died at the age of 29, New Year's Day, 1953, really only beginning to make his mark in music history. So there's this great intersection of his story here in Bossier City that's an important part of the legend and lore of this building.
Okay. So at the East Bank Gallery, we have two galleries. We have our main gallery, but then we also have an emerging artists gallery. So in the emerging artists gallery, they have to have had less than 6 exhibitions to themselves, and we teach them how to write an artist statement, how to write a bio, how to market themselves. And so it's a step stool gallery, but just helps artists prepare for the next level of their career. We also have this beautiful plaza that the city has built across the street, and that allows us to have more family-friendly events. It's bike-friendly, dog-friendly, stroller-friendly, so we encourage the public to come and visit the East Bank, walk from brewery to bar, to restaurant, to just enjoy the landscaping in the plaza.